Joining us now is Mindy Eisenberg. She is the founder of Yoga Moves MS, located in Franklin. They have an adaptive online yoga class for patients with MS, Parkinson's, and other disabilities coming up very soon. And she joins us to talk about that and more right now. Mindy, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Appreciate having you on. So tell us a little bit about Yoga Moves MS out of Franklin, a little bit about your business, what you do, and what you offer to people throughout our communities.
So Yoga Moves MS is a nonprofit that provides adaptive yoga for people with MS and Parkinson's. And of course, anybody's welcome with any neuromuscular condition. Pre-COVID, we had 7 classes in different locations throughout southeastern Michigan. Since COVID, everything is online, and we're hoping to bring it back again next year. So right now we have daily virtual adaptive yoga classes that anybody can join. They're donation-only classes, and they range from chair yoga to a mixed class where there'll be some chair yoga and some on the mat and some standing. Adaptive yoga, we use props like straps and blocks and blankets and chairs and walls to help us find our optimal posture. So it's not really about the postures, it's about how we feel in the postures, and yoga is really about feeling better.
We're joined by Mindy Eisenberg. She's the founder of Yoga Moves MS in Franklin. So I want to talk a little bit about the ways that you adjust the practice of yoga for patients with neuromuscular conditions such as MS or Parkinson's or other diseases, because my dad has MS, and so I'm fairly familiar with some of the ways that that can affect someone on a daily basis, and particularly in movement situations or exercise scenarios like with yoga. Yoga tends to be much lower impact. It can be very high intensity in some cases, but it's not something that's going to really wipe you out very quickly. That being said, for a lot of patients with MS, mobility and balance are already a pretty big issue. You mentioned some of the props and using the walls and such as well, but what kind of benefits can somebody with a neuromuscular condition that may have some trouble with traditional yoga, what benefits can they take from this adaptive style that you practice over at Yoga Moves MS?
I can tell that you already know and understand a lot about MS, of course, living with a family member with it. And so the same benefits that anybody gets from yoga, someone with a neuromuscular condition can get. What you'd mentioned that it doesn't move as fast, and which is true. So in an adaptive yoga room, we take the time to go slower. You also know that heat impacts people. So we keep the temperature, we're always asking what's the best temperature, but it's usually around 70, 72, something like that. And so we take breaks in between poses. There's a lot of breaks. There's also more conversation that goes on in the room. There's a lot of sharing. Even online, I've been surprised to see how we've been able to come together as a community. People discuss some of the concerns that they might have or resources that they might have to share with others who have a similar condition. So the class has become very much a support group as well as a yoga class. So I would say that's one of the benefits right there. Then, of course, the benefits of strengthening and stretching and coordination and cognition. I mean, I could keep going on and on with it. I mean, just focusing on the breath. There's a lot of people who are scared of yoga. And I've noticed that because my flyer has been in neurologist's office for years and years. I mean, I have hundreds of students who've come to Yoga Moves MS, and now they're coming from different countries. Last night, Australia was on. But what I've noticed is that people tell me over and over again how they were holding on to our flyer about classes because they were afraid to try it. And it wasn't until perhaps, they were really, they were really uncomfortable with their body. Something really pushed them into it. Their doctor, someone said, you gotta come with me, until they finally got the courage to do it. And we're super friendly, super duper friendly. People are so happy in the class when someone else joins, and very encouraging. If someone sees another classmate doing a pose or a posture that they weren't able to do before, or maybe a variation of it, there's going to be a lot of cheerleading going on in the room. A lot of smiles, a lot of laughing, and really having fun. Now with MS, we're hearing stories about that it's really good to also do some aerobic or cardiac before doing something like a more slower, more contemplative, mindful practice. And so I've talked to some different physical therapists about matching some faster moving together with some slower, maybe flowing yoga.
We're joined by Mindy Eisenberg. She is the founder of Yoga Moves MS in Franklin, joining us on the MegaCast. As you mentioned, you are a nonprofit. You run a lot of events, and you have been throughout the pandemic running virtual events to continue to provide these services to people with neuromuscular conditions like MS or Parkinson's or other diseases. You have an event coming up this Saturday, November 6th from noon to 4 for individuals with MS and their care partners. Tell us a little bit about that event and how people can participate.
Yes, it's a pretty exciting event. This is our third year. The first year we were in Southfield, Michigan, and the room could hold about 260 people. And we basically, there's no charge for the event. It's donation only. But you could say we sold out. There was standing room only. We bring in national and local experts, and they talk about different topics that have to do with holistic, the whole person, and wellness. And I had no idea how much interest there was, and also that there really wasn't much out there about it, specifically tailored to people with MS. Although some of my students who have Parkinson's came on as well and enjoyed several of the presentations. So we have this array of people who are local that are leading experts from our comprehensive MS centers. So Dr. Rani Abu-Rashad and Dr. Belkin and his new partner, Rosemary Walsh, they're gonna be on. In addition to some national experts, when I was just at the MS Consortium annual meeting, and people were walking around our exhibit booth and they saw our flyer and they're like, "You got these guys speaking?" We really do. And I'm real proud of it. And you cannot beat this lineup of speakers. They know and breathe MS, and they really want to help people. I'm amazed by even the responses when I'm corresponding with them planning this event. So we sat down together with Dr. Singer, Barry Singer, who's our keynote, and we discussed different topics. And we decided this year to focus on, because so many experience fatigue with MS, and certainly the care partners as well. So fatigue is going to be one of our big topics. So is pain, coping with pain, and then resilience and thriving with MS. And a different kind of topic, we're bringing in a rehab psychologist from the University of Michigan Medical Center, Evan Smith, Dr. Evan Smith. And he's going to be talking about value-based thriving with MS. And so this word keeps coming up among our speakers: thriving, resilience. And we have a special video that we put together of 3 Yoga Moves MS students that have been with us. And one of them, Adam, he joined during COVID. So he had never done a class in person. And so these 3 are super inspiring and agreed to put together this video. I find that our community attracts so many people that you just want to be around with, because it feels so good to be around them. They may have a condition, but they are finding a way to find meaning and purpose in their life and enjoy in their life. So we have 3 examples that'll be in this beautiful, almost tearjerker video that'll be a gift to our viewers.
We're joined by Mindy Eisenberg. She's the founder of Yoga Moves MS in Franklin. Learn more information about their 2021 Virtual Holistic Health and Wellness Forum happening this Saturday, November 6th from noon to 4 p.m. by going to their website at yogamovesms.org, where you can register for this event as well. It is a free event, but they are encouraging a $25 donation as well. And so, Mindy, a few more minutes with you before we'll say goodbye today. And I just want to ask, what inspired you to begin Yoga Moves MS and to operate this? What ultimately led you to decide that this was something that you wanted to do to help people in our community that may have these neuromuscular conditions and need some sort of a safe and effective exercise outlet?
Well, like you, I had a parent with MS. My mother had primary progressive MS. You're a lot younger, but my mom back in the late 60s, early 70s was diagnosed. And there was nothing at the time to slow down the disease. And so she was basically given Valium, which just made her more tired, more fatigued, and steroids. And her progression was like this, downhill. By the time she had it, like 20 years or so, her body was in a contracted, almost fetal position. And I really didn't have a plan at the time, but I was a hospital administrator at U of M, and I started to take yoga and loved it. And after I took the teacher training, I was invited to a support group, actually at the Mind, where two of our presenters are from. And ever since then, it's just bubbled into different classes that were in Southeastern Michigan, and now we have this virtual online presence.
We're joined by Mindy Eisenberg. She is the founder of Yoga Moves MS in Franklin, joining us on the MegaCast. Learn more information about Yoga Moves MS, including their 2021 Virtual Holistic Health and Wellness Forum for MS, by going to their website at yogamovesms.org. It's also where you can register for this weekend's event. And again, that is on Saturday, November 6th from noon until 4 p.m. yogamovesms.org for more information. And lastly, Mindy, you're also an author of Adaptive Yoga Moves. Anybody can do. You're an author of a book about that. Tell us about the book and where people can find that.
Sure. So Adaptive Yoga Moves Anybody. It was created in memory of my mom. It was a 5-year birthing process to this book. And it's a guide for different adaptive yoga poses, giving different variations, lots of pictures, user-friendly, tells you the benefits of each pose and any possible contraindications. And it's got some different breathing techniques in there and some hand mudras. We also have adaptive yoga cards, which students also ask for. And you can pull out the card and look at a posture and then get some variations on the back. So there's always an alternative, and they're just easy to use, and you might just pick out 3 to 5 poses that you do in a day. And this way you can make the practice your own at home. So those are on my website. They're also sold on Amazon. And I just want to mention, for the event on Saturday, if they can't make it or they can't make the whole thing, they can kind of weave in and out based on their schedule. If they register, we will be sending out the link to watch the recordings after.
We're joined by Mindy Eisenberg, founder of Yoga Moves MS in Franklin. Find more information on their upcoming event this weekend by going to their website at yogamovesms.org. And Mindy, just another minute or so before we'll say goodbye today. You have some other online resources as well for people that may be interested in this adaptive yoga, or be interested in helping either themselves who may have a neuromuscular condition such as these, or someone else in their family. Where can people find those other online resources?
Yes. So the book does have videos related to it, and those videos can be used with the cards or the book. I recommend they're a companion. And we have also, you can go to YouTube and see some of our prior presentations and classes. And they really, if you have any hesitation, just try one of our virtual classes and see. We have chair classes, breathing classes, meditation classes, stretching classes. There's bound to be something for you.
Well, Mindy, we appreciate your time. Thank you for joining us, previewing this weekend's event and telling us all about Yoga Moves MS.
Thank you so much for having me, and I welcome all to our community, Yoga Moves MS.
Yeah, yogamovesms.org for more information. Big thank you to Mindy Eisenberg, the founder of Yoga Moves MS, located in Franklin. That's going to do it for today's edition of the show. Big thank you to all of our guests, including Mindy, all the guests today as well, including Christine Johnson from Grace Centers of Hope, U.S. Representative Brenda Lawrence, Nori Klar from Toyology Toys with locations in Bloomfield Hills, West Bloomfield, and Royal Oak, and of course Dewey Steffen, the CEO and Chief Investment Officer at Great Lakes Wealth, a financial planning company. You can find all of our interviews and our full episode from today and other shows on demand on our website on civiccentertv.com by clicking on our MegaCast link. And there you can also find more information about all of our partnering television, radio, and web outlets here in Oakland County and all throughout the state of Michigan. Again, civiccentertv.com, and click on our MegaCast link. Right next door to that on our website at civiccentertv.com is our coronavirus link, another very important site for you to go to each and every day if you want to access information about COVID-19 from trusted, reliable, factual information outlets on the front lines of this pandemic, at the federal level from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, at the state level from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, and from the Oakland County Health Division as well. You can learn more information about the spread of COVID-19, about the variants of COVID-19, about precautionary measures that can be taken, the efficacy of those precautions, such as mask wearing, such as social distancing, and other measures, and learn more about the COVID-19 vaccines, especially those for ages 5 to 11 years old that are soon to be available in our communities from the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine for children. That's, of course, more information will be on all three of those sites that we have linked at civiccentertv.com/coronavirus, as well as our top stories each and every day that we post before the show. Big thank you to our entire crew. Calvin Brown, our studio producer and board operator, with me in our Green Media Center studio in West Bloomfield each and every day. Larry Nyland, our booking producer, and also out at Master Control with us today this week for getting everyone ready for the show. And Brendan, our Zoom producer over there at the Troy office. On Civic Center TV, up next is The Splash on My. It is going to be Steve Leto live, and we'll be back tomorrow at 10 a.m.